Yeah, good morning, students. So, in this week, we are going to discuss about the important concept in C programming language, that is the file handling concept we would like to discuss. Now, I would like to share my screen. Hope my screen is visible to you. So, the today's topic for discussion is file handling in C. Under that, how do we define a file and how we can open a file? So that we are going to discuss. In previous class, the summary of the previous classroom discussion topic is that we had a discussion about pointers and how the pointers are used to access the structure members. So that is a structure pointer to a structure. So this is a syntax which we have used here, struct structure name star PTR. So PTR is a variable which is pointing to a particular structure type, and we can store the address of the structure variable into the PTR. Then we can make use of this star followed by the pointer variable name and then dot member variable name. So this we can use to access the structure members using the pointer. This is one way. And other way is that the second method we have discussed by making use of arrow operator. So pointer variable arrow member name. This is another mechanism which we can use to access the members of the structure. So this is what we had a discussion in the previous classroom. So the lecture objectives is that this session will develop the students' knowledge in file handling functions which are used in the C language. So the lecture outcomes is that after completion of the session, students will be able to develop the code in C language using file handling concept. So why we need file management? So generally in our real life, we want to store some data permanently so that later we want to retrieve it and we want to reuse it. Then we need to store the data in the form of a file. So a file is a collection of data. It may be data, may be character type of data, or it may be any multimedia type of data also we can store in a file. And generally the files are stored on the secondary devices like hard disk or in pen drives. You can store the data in the form of files. And in C language, there are two different kinds of files that it is providing for us. One is text files and another one is binary files. So these are the two types of files that we can implement in C language. So the text files are generally human readable files. So it is a stream of plain English characters, whereas the binary files are computer readable. So humans cannot easily read that because it is going to store the data in the form of ones and zeros. So it is a stream of processed characters and ASCII symbols are converted into its equivalent binary form. So if you see in this particular example, this is the text file. Hello, this is a text file. Whatever written here can be easily read without the help of a computer. This is what the text file where you are storing the data in the form of text. So this is a binary file which is converted into its like equivalent to ones and zeros. This is a machine easily readable and this is a human easily readable format. Fine. So this is what are the two different types of files. Generally, the C language can be used to implement that. Now coming to this, a file can be used to store a large amount of data so that we can permanently store the data for future purpose. Okay, so in order to perform this file handling, so there are certain functions which are provided for us in C language to perform the following operations. So what are the operations we can perform here is that we can create a file, we can open a file, we can read a file, or we can write into a file, or we can close a file. These are the different types of file operations that we can do that. So why we need files actually? So just now we see that for persistent storage of the data, so we need a file. Okay, so similar to that, when a program is terminated, the entire data is lost. because the program is going to be stored in the main memory. That is, it is going to be stored in the RAM. So once you switch off your computer, the data which is stored in the RAM will be lost. So storing in a file will preserve the data even if you terminate your program. If you have to enter a large number of data, it will take a lot of time to enter them all. So however, if you have a file containing all the data, you can easily access the contents of the file using a few read commands from the file. And you can easily move your data from one computer to another computer without any changes if the data is stored in the form of a file. Fine. So then coming to this C programming language, so how we can declare a file pointer and how we can uh, declare a file basically. Fine. So in C language, in order to declare a file, we use a file pointer. So what is a file pointer? A file pointer is a pointer variable, so that specifies to the next byte to be read or write into the file. Every time a file is opened, the file pointer points to the beginning of the file. Then how do we declare a file pointer? So the file pointer can be declared just by making use of a predefined structure capital file, which is defined in the standard io.h, that is stdio.h file. In this particular file, so the capital file is a predefined structure which is provided, and you have to declare a pointer, so which is of type file type. So now in this example, star fp is a file pointer, so which is of type file type. So C language provides a number of functions to perform file handling operations. So the fundamental function which we require whenever you want to perform any operation is that first of all we have to open that particular file. So how do we open that file? So for that we have provided a fopen function, so which is used for creation of a new file, which is used for creation of a new file or to open an existing file. Okay, so fopen is used for both the purposes. You can create a new file. If the file is not existing, you can open an existing file. Fine. So the syntax will be like this. Once after you declare the file pointer, fp is equal to, okay, so fopen of some file name character star file name character star mode. So fopen will return a file pointer, so which is of type file star type. So that is the reason we have to declare fp as a file pointer type. So fp is the file pointer that holds the reference to the file. So whatever the file name here we have given to that particular file, the file pointer fp is a reference pointing to that file. So file name is the name of the file to be opened or created, and mode specifies the purpose of opening of that particular file, such as whether you are opening the file for reading or whether you are opening the file for writing purpose. And another also purpose will be there whether you want to append some data to the existing file. So read, write and append. These are the important purposes for which the file will be opened. So for example, here we have written fp is equal to fopen of printfile.c and then r. So this is the file name, printfile.c is the file name which we are opening. For the purpose of r stands for the mode, so which indicates that it is a read mode. For reading purpose, we are opening this particular file. So the syntax of this fopen, if you see that, so fopen file name and mode, which returns a file pointer. So this statement open the file and returns identify to the file type, which is a file pointer type. So we have seen one example here, fp is fopen print file.c in read mode. And another important function is that after performing whether completion of read or write operation, so once the operations are performed completely in the file, so at the end you have to close that particular file. For closing of that particular file, you need to use fclose function. So closes a file and releases the file pointer, fclose of fp. Then that particular file printfile.c, which is pointed by fp, so now it is closed and now the file pointer fp becomes free. So what are the different types of file opening modes? So we can perform different operations on a file based on file opening modes. So these are the different types of modes we have. R for read only mode, W for write only mode, A for appending mode. So R plus is for both reading and writing. W plus is same as W except for reading and writing. So A plus is same as A capital same as A except for reading and writing. So A R for read only, so it will open the file for reading purpose. If it exists, then the file is opened with the current contents. Otherwise, if the file does not exist, then it will report an error. So when we are using W write only mode, you are opening the file. If the file which you have specified is not existing, then it will create the file. The contents are deleted if the file already exists that. So that means it will overwrite on the contents. Then A is open the file for appending, that is adding the data at the end of the file. So the file is opened with the current context as safe. A file with a specified name is created if the file does not exist. So R plus, the existing file is open to the beginning for both reading and writing. So W plus is same as W, except that it is open for both reading and writing, similar to that A also. So this is an example. The main difference between W plus, it will truncate the file to zero length if it already exists, or create a new file if it does not exist. While R plus neither delete the contents nor it will create a new file if it does not exist that. So the basic file operations performed on a file are opening, reading and writing and closing of the file. Fine. So now the reflection spot is that a mode which is used to open an existing file for both reading and writing. A mode which is used to open an existing file for both reading and writing. Fine. Fine. If you are not able to answer this question, please watch this video from the beginning. Okay, thank you. So the LOs are revisited here. After completion of this session, students will be able to develop the code in C language using file handling concepts. So summary of this today's session is that in real life, the file handling concept is very important, and the data has to be stored in terms of files for future purpose, so that the files will be stored on the secondary storages like hard disks and pen drives. And in C language, there are two different kinds of files are supported: text files and binary files. In text files, the data will be stored in the character form, and whereas in the binary files, the data will be stored in the raw binary digits. And when you want to declare a file pointer, so we have to make use of capital file, which predefined structure defined in stdio.h. So capital file star ptr, it is a file pointer. So now you can open the file by making use of this ptr. Ptr is equal to f open, and then we can use here file name and mode. So these are the 6 different modes we have seen: R read only, W write only mode, and A for append only mode, and R plus, W plus, A plus. These are the other additional modes which we are provided that. So if you want to open a binary file, you have to make use of RB and WB and AB, like that we have to use. If you use B as a uh, prefix for that, then it is called it as a binary file opening modes. Fine. So this is the lecture level practice problem. So develop a C program to create a text file. So these are further readings on this particular topic. So go through this particular predefined textbook and other internet resources. Okay. So thank you and all.